and welcome to another edition of Expat Living. Now, as you can see from all the sweat, as well as the heights from behind me, this episode of Expat Living is about an extreme sport, rock climbing. So what's happening with the industry here, and what are the expats doing about it? Let's find out in this edition of Expat Living.
Stop for a minute and think about how much we have together.
My name is Paul Massad. I'm from Chile. I'm 27 years old and I fell in love with rock climbing. The mountains were always a part of my life in Chile. I live between volcanoes and valleys that have some of the best climbing in the world, so I was always there. Although I had climbed in Chile, I didn't think of doing it as a sport until I got to the USA. I landed in Vietnam back in 2008. Rock climbing, as well as many other things in this beautiful country, are just in the introductory stages. And like an artist starts his painting with a white canvas, Vietnam's landscape offers one of the greatest canvases the rock climbing industry could have asked for. Unlimited caves, great and supportive communities, enough different rock faces to fill every day of your life, no matter what town you visit. Chances are that an undiscovered gem, it's only waiting for those who dare to explore. Tourism is not the only one benefiting though. The arrival of climbing to the urban masses in the form of climbing gyms marks a milestone in the sport and cultural development of the country. Although we're in full steam ahead, there's yet much to be done. And that's what I love the most about Vietnam and the industry that I chose to be in.
Paul's push climbing gym and classes are his way to express his love for climbing in Vietnam. Located in District 2, Paul's classes have welcomed both expats and local climbers of all ages.
And we can teach you how to do it out and enjoy it safely. And that's basically what I'm pushing. I hope to bring here. Also a lifestyle that it's healthy. You hang out with your friends and you're not out in the street or doing weird things. You're basically here enjoying your time and doing sports. And that's ultimately what I want to bring here.
This is also Tim and the daughter's first time to push. The Canadian fondly enjoys his daughter's introduction to rock climbing.
Well, when I was quite a bit younger, I used to do a lot of climbing myself, mostly ice, mountaineering, and it's just a great sport because it teaches about some of the values that I think we all want in our kids. Work hard, keep going, perseverance, have a goal, aim for something. And so I've always enjoyed it. I enjoyed it for 20 years of my life.
I like climbing because I get to climb very high. I feel scared and happy.
Thứ nhất là về sức khỏe là giúp mình rèn luyện sức khỏe, thứ hai là khi mà mình đạt được tới cái đỉnh thì mình nghĩ là cái này giúp mình vượt qua nỗi sợ hãi của bản thân. Dạ.
To make them realize that something that they thought impossible was not. And in fact, they could do it many times a week, right? The fact that I see the awe in their faces. Every single person that comes here takes a look and looks up and just goes, oh, wow, that's already, a payment. That's what I love about teaching this.
Alright, now it's finally time for me to get some climbing on. So, what do I need to do to get myself up there?
All right, the first thing we need is a pair of climbing shoes. Now, these shoes will go on your feet and they will protect your toes every single time you hit on the rock. Okay, you can see they have rubber all over and they should fit you all right. So that's the first piece of equipment. Second piece of equipment is your harness.
Okay.
This is a harness that's one size fits all, so you don't have to worry too much about where or which way you put it on, or if you're too big or too small. This red loop is what we call our belay loop. This is the strongest point in the harness, or will always go in the front. All right, so my job, right, is going to be the belayer. I will be the person that will manage the rope for you, and you will be the climber. For the next piece, and to do my job, I need to use one of these. Okay. This is an ATC. An ATC basically will put friction on the rope. Right. So the way we set it up is the following. We first make sure that the ropes are not untied. Okay. We pinch it, and we thread it through. After I do that, I clip the carabiner, and I clip it onto myself. Okay. Now, what will this do? This will basically allow the rope to run freely, up and down, and I will be able to lock you here. So you won't be able to pull the rope as long as I have this break point here, all right? Yep. Now, the second part that we need to do is to go ahead and tie the knot. The knot that we do goes into your belay loop, and then after that, we thread it through, basically. We do a double figure eight, which is called. There are other ways of tying yourself, but this is usually the easiest one to learn.
And anything else I need to know before I get up?
Use your legs more than your arms, okay? And have fun and breathe. Don't forget about breathing.
What is even cooler is that Paul designed and makes climbing walls. Using his personal understanding and experience with the sport, he constructed the facility at Push and done some other external contracts.
So I took containers of 40 foot, which I stacked them one on side of the other, and then I put a 20-foot container on top of it. That gave me the inner structure, which was hollow, which meaning I could build inside, and I could also build outside. The measurements of the container and the measurements of the pieces of the materials that I had were the same. So that meant that even the cutting and the fitting even cut more on the time. Is one of almost the tallest wall in Saigon. All right, so here we are at the lobby of California Fitness and Yoga at the waterfront. Now, this project was commissioned by Randy Dobson, the owner of California Fitness, and it was the first climbing wall made in stainless steel ever in the world.
It was a new material. I had never worked with it before. And so it was a project that we had to make from scratch, literally. The concept is because we are in the waterfront, right? Because we are in the dock, the idea was to make a boat. So I had to make the wall look like a boat, and that's why we have USS California at the top, the number 36, and of course an anchor bay right here in our cave and roof. But yeah, it's quite an interesting project. It combines a little bit of bouldering and a little bit of rope climbing, just to give everyone excited and to further their workout even more with the machines.
All right, so now that you've seen how exciting and attractive the sport is, how about safety? This is the reason why we're here at another location, which is Vertical Academy. Now, what makes Vertical Academy special is that they do offer some special safety training as well for people who go on expeditions like caving and all that stuff. And as you can see right here next to me, this is the kind of gear that an explorer would wear. So let's find out what the safety lessons are all about with the owner of the place, Cedric.
Having been in Vietnam for over 10 years, Cedric has been involved with the Vietnamese climbing sportsmen since the early days. Through Vina Access and Vertical Academy, the 40-year-old French instructor has trained industrial workers and cave guides with safety skills.
Hey Cedric, how you doing, dude?
Hey Michael, how you doing?
Awesome. Okay, so I learned that you guys do a lot of safety training and everything here. Can you tell us more about these stuff?
That's right. Safety is at, we can say, the highest level. On Petro-Vietnam rigs, for instance, they use the exact same safety standard as in the North Sea or Africa, Europe, everywhere. I mean, the first duty, the first target was to organize a facility for rope access trainings. Well, basically it's a steel structure when you can hang ropes and work and practice different maneuvers. I mean, beyond, let's say, we have organized the rope climbing surfaces, the rope climbing wall, which comprises two different sports, top rope and bouldering.
Great. Cool, fantastic, man. I can't wait to dive into the excitement. And as you can see, right here, it actually simulates some of the terrains that you might actually experience when you go caving or on expeditions in a natural setting. So I'm kind of struggling right here, but I'm going to try to see how far I could go.
Going on exploration trips can be a daunting task when it comes to climbing. Understanding this, Vertical Academy has run training sessions to prepare climbers with safety and maneuvering skills since 2015.
The program here is very helpful. It helps me to get used to the terrains and body movement for real-life action in the natural world. The instructor is also very helpful.
線がこうどんどん上手くなっていくのもわかるし、どんどん好きになってきました。
We offer a very extensive program providing a set of the most essential skills. Not only does this sport train the body, but also the mind as well. The student can train to harmonize between the body movement, quick reflexes, and resilience as well.
Having climbed for 6 years now, Hin Thục is among many trained at Vertical Academy to compete internationally. In June 2016, she joined a Vietnam team of 8 to participate in Singapore's Pump Fest. Her team came 5th in the contest.
Đó là lần đầu tiên mình đi tham dự giải nước ngoài, nhưng mà gần như cái trình độ của mình cũng sánh ngang ngửa với các bạn ở nước ngoài, thì đó là một điều rất là ngạc nhiên.
Vertical Academy has joined Vietnam's very own climbing event as well. The gym's partner, Viet Climb, is behind many of these.
Các cuộc thi này diễn ra thì cũng kêu gọi mọi người climber ở trên toàn thể Việt Nam cố gắng gặp gỡ, là nơi gặp gỡ, trao đổi, giao lưu cả tình bạn và kỹ thuật. Có động lực để tiếp tục thực tập và cố gắng luyện tập hơn nữa. Có thể hy vọng không những em mà thế hệ sau này, thế hệ trẻ có thể đạt được thành tích cao hơn.
As you can see in this episode of Expat Living, vertical sports are actually a great way to get your health improved, as well as a way to challenge yourself. And trust me, it is much more fun than it looks. So just before we say goodbye, let's take a look at this week's timeout. Woo!
Ever heard of a museum dedicated only to Vietnamese traditional áo dài? Or do you know what an áo dài looked like in its earliest day? Or do you know all the ups and downs in the development of Vietnamese traditional áo dài? Well, they have it all here in the Áo dài Museum in District 9, Ho Chi Minh City. District 9 is on the outskirts of Ho Chi Minh City's city center. Upon arrival, you will see that the whole museum is designed like a home garden, recalling rustic southern landscapes and age-old wood architecture. The 20,000 square meter area is where 100 of áo dài from different historical periods are waiting to reveal to visitors their stories. This longhouse preserved áo dài from the 17th to the 21st century.
Đây là chiếc áo dài tứ thân xuất hiện vào thế kỷ thứ 17. Vào thế kỷ thứ 17 thì khổ dệt của người Việt mình chỉ từ 35 cho đến 40 cm, cho nên phải nối các khổ dệt lại với nhau và tạo thành một đường sống áo ở phía sau. Và phía trước thì người ta may hở nên gọi là áo tứ thân.
Có phải đây là chiếc áo cổ nhất được trưng bày ở đây không?
Đây chiếc áo này mình chỉ phục chế lại thôi ạ. Và hiện tại thì cũng rất là ít những người thợ có thể may được một chiếc áo dài như thế này.
Tại sao nó khó ở cái điểm như thế nào?
Những cái đường chỉ nè, những cái đường may của người ta thì mỗi người thợ thì sẽ có một cái cách may khác nhau. Và những cái đường may này thì rất là khó để có những người thợ bây giờ có thể may như vậy.
The áo tứ thân or four-panel áo dài is sewn with brown fabric with our buttons. Beneath the four panels is a flap with dark color for the elderly and white or peach red color for young women.
Còn đây là chiếc áo dài 5 thân xuất hiện vào năm 1884. Thì vào năm 1884 thì phụ nữ thành thị bắt đầu quan tâm tới cái đẹp, và cái đẹp thời kỳ này thì phải thể hiện sự kín đáo. 5 thân thì mình nhìn thấy phía trước có 2 thân, và tương tự như vậy phía sau mình có thêm 2 thân nữa. Phía bên trong mình có thêm một cái thân nhỏ bắt đầu từ phần tay áo này dài xuống bằng với cái vạt ở dưới. 5 thân thể hiện cho tứ phụ mẫu, ba mẹ mình, ba mẹ người thương, và cái thân nhỏ ở trong thể hiện cho chính bản thân mình.
trong một chiếc áo dài rất là nhiều ý nghĩa.
Did you know a 5-panel áo dài has 5 buttons representing Vietnamese people's philosophy of humanity, civility, gratitude, intellect, and credibility?
At this museum, visitors can also learn about the complicated process of creating an áo dài. Many valuable and beautiful áo dài are still kept as heirlooms in many families. Sharing their treasures with the public is a hard decision for them. Here is an example.
Đây là chiếc áo dài tân thời Lê Mê xuất hiện vào thế kỷ thứ 20. Đây là một mẫu thiết kế của họa sĩ Nguyễn Cát Tường.
Thì liệu đây có phải là chiếc áo dài gốc không?
Đúng rồi, đây là một cái hiện vật gốc được may vào năm 1942 của một người chồng tặng cho người vợ của mình vào ngày cưới. Và đến năm 1951 thì chẳng may người vợ lâm bệnh nặng và qua đời. Quá thương tiếc người vợ mình cho nên là ông không nỡ để đem đi thiêu hủy chiếc áo này, nên đã chôn giữ ở dưới đất, và khi tìm lại thì đã có một số chỗ gác như thế này.
Wow.
Và dường như đây là chiếc áo dài Lê Mê hiếm hoi còn sót lại cho đến bây giờ.
Vậy phía bên này thì những chiếc áo dài này có điểm gì đáng chú ý?
Đây là áo dài tay rắc lăng. Năm 1948, ông Đỗ Thành thành lập tiệm may Dung Đa Cao. Năm 1957, ông đã áp dụng cái lối tay rắc lăng, rắc xéo phần tay áo trong âu phục vào trong áo dài. Có nghĩa là những cái thời kỳ trước thì phần tay áo ở đây người ta sẽ may liền một mảnh vải. Nhưng mà may như vậy thì rất là tốn vải và không tạo được sự căng phẳng trước vùng ngực.
The áo dài raglan with slanted sleeves connecting the collar and armpits is still popular until today.
Also on display at the museum are special áo dài, which used to belong to famous people in Vietnam, from politicians, businesswomen to artists. Meet fashion designer Lê Sĩ Hoàng, the mastermind of this áo dài museum.
Suốt hơn 12 năm xây dựng từ một cái vùng đất mà khi tôi đến đây thì người dân người ta nói là ông đến đây để làm gì, khi mà nó là một cái vùng đất mà gọi là khỉ ho cò gáy. Nhưng mà tôi nghĩ là nó như là một cái nhân duyên, và giờ đây thì nó đã có một cái diện mạo bảo tàng áo dài.
Lê Sĩ Hoàng is famous for a huge collection of áo dài and his remarkable designs on displayed worldwide, including the Lotus patent áo dài exclusively made for the U.S. First Lady Michelle Obama in May 2016. The designer then shows me one of his latest collections, Giao Thoa, literally translated as integration, presenting Vietnamese áo dài sewed with Indian fabrics, the saris, with female and male dresses.
Tôi đã được bà Tổng lãnh sự gửi tặng những cái bộ sari đẹp nhất. Thật ra gọi là bộ nhưng mà nó là một cái tấm vải dài khoảng 6 mét và chiều ngang là hơn 1 mét. Và với cái tấm vải đó thì với cái cách quấn thì nó thành một cái áo sari của người Ấn, truyền thống của người Ấn Độ. Và tôi đã lấy những cái vải đó, và có một cái điều hết sức thú vị là mỗi một tấm sari như vậy thì vừa đủ số lượng vải để may một bộ áo dài.
Vietnamese áo dài are also for men. It is for all ages as well. Nowadays, áo dài is still a favorite costume for special occasions such as weddings, Lunar New Year's days, graduation day, or in important competitions at home and abroad.
Vietnamese traditional áo dài is the symbol of Vietnamese design and culture. Listening to the great story behind Vietnamese traditional áo dài is also a way to explore Vietnamese culture. And for me, this is a great way to spend my day out in Ho Chi Minh City.
That has wrapped up this edition of Expat Living. Now do log on to VTV4.vn or youtube.com/VTV4Go for more of our content. Goodbye for now and until next time.